We are in a massive construction site in Willets Point, Queens, a future home of 2,500 units of affordable housing and a brand new all-electric soccer stadium, the first privately financed anywhere in New York City. Look at this foundation. Sweet. This is exciting to see. I'm actually going to take a picture that I can share with the team.
Queens continues to lead the city, certainly in housing production. This is really going to have a positive impact in a community that was devastated during the pandemic, for sure. So between the soccer stadium, between the housing, between all of the restaurants, this is a good hodgepodge of things that will make sure that people here could live in a community, afford a community, and more importantly, stay in their community, live, work, and play. This is what happens when government comes together with community. You end up scoring a goal for our borough.
World sport and the world's borough, it's got to be here.
Even a better part of that, 15% set aside for formerly homeless families who will now be able to live. It is poetic justice, in my opinion.
So we're currently in phase one. We've got both the basic infrastructure, so new waterways, new sewer, new electric, and the first of the 2,500 units of affordable housing. This is the largest 100% affordable housing project to be built in New York City in 40 years. And it's amazing that it's happening right here in Queens. That's what justice and opportunity looks like for me.
We're at the first ever community vending market in New York City that you really helped to champion, to say, you know what, these are our city's smallest businesses, they're the heart and soul of Corona, and we want to make sure that they're able to thrive and give back to the community that they live and work in as well. Working with the Corona Plaza Street Vendors Association and Queens Economic Development Corporation, we were able to bring in 14 stalls. So they're here every single day. We have representation from Ecuador, from Mexico, from Guatemala. People
The
can
taste
come
of the world.
through. Exactly.
The taste of the world. And this is symbolic of who we are as a borough. Hello, good to see you, señorita. Hi, how are you? Good, muy bien. ¿Y tú?
Just been working for 8 years here in
8
Corona
years
Plaza.
at Corona Plaza, wow. Woo!
This is a fight for dignity and equity for street vendors who for so long have been treated as less than human.
Muy bien. Muy bien.
But in reality, right, look around you. I think the most honorable thing is folks who are waking up at 2 in the morning to make tamales and then bring their kids to school and then come to work, all within the bounds of their own neighborhood. And that's what a local economy is supposed to be.
Very good. Now, where are you from?
¿De dónde?
Mexico, too. And your son is going into the Navy to serve this country.
Y ahora, Doña Joaquina. Chalupas.
Oh, chalupas.
So they're just starting to make them up for the day.
I'm so grateful for the Street Vendors Project. This is just the beginning, right? I mean, we're hoping to replicate this across the city. Eating my way through the borough.
I think justice for Corona Plaza and for street vendors all throughout the borough, all throughout the city, is to be treated with dignity, to be treated as the small business owners that they are, to have access to the permitting and licensing that they need.
Going to Borough Hall like this today.
To be able to be a part of our city's economy and to contribute back the way that they continue to do.
We're right here in the shadow of the Ravenswood Generating Plant. Big Alice, founded in 1963 across the street from the Queensbridge houses. Queensbridge being constructed in 1939, Robert Moses deliberately redlining west of 21st Street, and Ravenswood and Astoria houses all being in that catchment area of that red line. And this is the result, right? 1963, they just dropped this power plant into this neighborhood across the street from public housing. It's environmental racism. This plant is 20%, 25% of the city's energy output every day. And the cost of that, historically, has been the asthma rates skyrocketing in these zip codes. Imagine actually having that come down in our lifetimes. And then getting the pollution out of people's homes and letting people actually breathe clean air. I mean, what you're leading on this transition is going to be a transformation for this neighborhood.
The future of this site really should be dictated by the residents of Queensbridge houses, the people who been most impacted by these plants. And I think there's a huge opportunity here, right, between open space, between renewable energy to really try to right the wrongs of the past.
Now, these should be the families who have been generationally impacted by asthma. Parents, grandparents, grandkids, they should be the ones that decide what goes here, what replaces this.
Right, and that's the big difference between what I call economic development and community development.
Right. The future, this is an opportunity to transform Asthma Alley into Renewable Row, to create a template for what the 21st century should look like. I mean, what the Queensborough president's doing to reimagine Ravenswood, to have the residents decide their own futures, their families' futures, their grandkids' futures, this is what this can be and should be.